Let's give you guys a summary of what basically went down. Basically, long story short, what happened was Abba was seeing this girl for like 5 months, got her pregnant, right? He's running around with this narrative of like, oh, yo, like, I want her to have the kid and all this other stuff. Now, let me be very clear about this with this girl, okay? Because we're going to react to her video here. We got the full 19-minute video here because, you know, we knew that it would go down. So we already got it here. We're ready to go. We're going to go through this thing. Let me be very blunt about this. These chicks are crazy, okay? I have no doubt in my mind that she was gaslighting him. I have no doubt in my mind that she's probably not being 100% transparent. I have no doubt in my mind that she's probably nuts, okay? Let me be clear about that.
You know, a story is really shady. If even Vadu, Myron Gaines, the shadiest of all, are not willing to take the videos that you're sending them to bury Abba with it. Like literally he waited for, you know, the video to officially come out, like a lot of people, to talk about it, because this woman was trying to take Abba down and we were like, huh? This chick had sent videos that she pre-recorded to everybody that just doesn't like Abba. You know, she pretended, I mean, she was dating the guy. She was like, I loved him so much. And yet you are sending these videos to Stevie, to what Stevie, to, you know, Myron, because we actually saw that she had like this Myron posts on the thingy up there. And they didn't say anything until you officially dropped your video. It says a lot about your character, girl. It was like you came, you saw, and you didn't conquer nothing. And we're going to talk about that because I have a lot of things to say. You can actually check the checklines. Everybody's going to have their own chapter in this video. It might be a little bit long, but let's do it. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody's fine, good, happy, healthy. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Tell me what you think in the comment section. What's your finish, or while you're watching the video, let's go. So yesterday we were going to call the May 7th, we're going to call May 7th Abba Day, because this was actually crazy to see. I was sitting here minding my business, and for people who do not know, I am currently in the other side of the Atlantic, so, you know, stuff has happened. I slept at 3 in the morning yesterday because of all this debacle. We were sitting here minding our business. All of a sudden, we have like a Stevie night video that pops up and says that, oh my God, Abba's ex-girlfriend, this and that. And I was like, boy, go sit your ass over there. But I was curious and I clicked, because we know that Stevie doesn't like Abba after he took him down. So this is how his video started.
Definitely did not expect to be talking about this bitch again on my channel, bro. You know, from y'all know, it's well documented that I don't fuck with Abba. But some things are more important, and this is extremely important. Came across this video, man. The title of the video is My Pregnancy with Abba from Abba and Preach.
Yeah, he's still calling Abba a B. Anyway, he let the video play. So this chapter right here is going to be called Stevie, but really short. Then we're going to go to Libby. Then we're going to go to What Stevie. Then we're going to go to a couple of people. Obviously, we're going to cover Abba and Preach at some point, but you can just check the check line down below. Stevie plays his video, sit there and barely say anything, and blames Abba for being a non-present daddy and a rude person because she showed us receipt about him being really nasty to her while she was dated. She loved him a lot. She got pregnant, and she showed us receipt of him being really nasty, blocking her. Most of the time she was blocked in the relationship. For some reason, she was more blocked than unblocked. I mean, that was crazy. And, you know, she said it like she said it. And I was like, yeah, that's my point of view. I was like, this is shady. It is shady because she had recording of this guy's messages, phone calls, DMs. I know that people don't like cancel or erase their DMs, but just the fact that she's recording a phone call to me was just awkward. Then while she was actually doing and showing us her video, she had, you know, stuff that she was going to open for everybody. She even had Myron one of one of the icons on her desktop was like Myron. I was like, Myron? Okay, you pretend to love somebody, then you want to be linked to his enemy, sort of, that is actually awkward. So Stevie finishes his video, this, ABBA, blah, 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 and some of us are curious. So after watching that Stevie video, that was just a lousy video to actually say the truth, I went to check what her channel was about, because I was like, this woman already has a channel all of a sudden, some. And I get there, at the time, she had, I think on the video something was like 100 and some views. It was not a lot of views on that video. The video is now currently at 2,000 views. She didn't have a lot of subscribers, so I think like her subscribers were low, her views were low, because that was apparently her first video. She created a whole YouTube channel to try to tell us how her ex-boyfriend, ABBA, was a bad person, because that is what it was. There was nothing really positive about it. She was like, I loved him so much, but he has this weird character, as if when he's online with you guys, he is not what he says he is. He is not like that. He is very aggressive. He is very this, and I got pregnant, and these are the messages that he sent me, blah blah blah. And it was weird. I don't know, something was off when I was actually listening to that video, and I was like, okay, the messages were not great. I mean, they were really rude. He was like, stop shading me, stop blackmailing me, stop doing, and I'm like, was I surprised that ABBA used such vocabulary? Not really, because sometimes when he gets angry, even on his channel, he will say stuff like, get out of here or whatever. So I was not really shocked. But usually when he does that, even on his own videos with Preach and stuff, it's because something happened and they're reacting. They're not acting. They're not the first one to throw the stone. They're reacting to something that actually happened. So I was like, okay, there's always two sides to a story. And I knew, when stuff, ABBA has never been the kind of person who backs down from, like an opponent. He took so many people down out of here on the street. Destiny, Fresh and Fit, Fadul, Myron the Moran Gaines, so many people. Like, people come, this crazy woman from Dubai who pretends to be a doctor. They take people down when needed. So I was like, yeah, we know that we're going to get ABBA's version of things. And before we even got to that, we got a video from What's TV. So What's TV decided to go live in the evening, and it's like, wait, like, this chick wanted to drop videos on ABBA a long time ago. She did her videos, she sent it to me. She was like, do you want to react to this? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? Can you just check my videos for me? Because and I'm gonna say, even when I was new YouTubing, I even send my links to people. I send my links to ABBA and Preach because I have a lot of respect for these guys. I pretty much decided to make videos because of these guys, because I really like the way they were, they make their videos. I'm not gonna lie, so I might be a little biased, but if I don't like something they say, I'm gonna say it. I don't like something they say. So he tells us that she actually has been sending this video that she made 2 videos. So the first video that dropped yesterday, the day before yesterday, she was sending it to everybody, like YouTubers that talk about ABBA and Preach in good or in bad. So when he got her message, he watched it and he was like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? And she's like, no, but I just want to, and it's like, as a human being, and I want to say this, a lot of people who really love ABBA and Preach, not like the people who just want to go against ABBA and Preach, we got brains. You have people in the community that's obviously they're going to be like losers and going to be like, but the stands are going to go and bully somebody for ABBA and Preach. But most of us are just going to look at you, use our brain, and be like, no, this is stupid. And he actually told her, like, is this really necessary? Because, and I agree with him. She seemed to be a heartbroken woman who dated somebody, he didn't work out. And is it really necessary to even bring yourself into the public because it might, backfire for you? And she was like, yeah, I just want to make a video. So, which is again weird. Is she looking for clout? What is she looking for? If she's hurt, why is she not communicating with him? But again, everybody has their story, and he was like, well, advising you to not do this because I don't think it's necessary. He was not trying to protect Abba, by the way, but to him it was like, okay, people break up and you're hurt and it's a sad situation. There is a baby who is no longer here. It is what it is, like, let it go. Nevertheless, she decided to drop her video, and then you had people like, again, Stevie Nice, who decided to pretend that he didn't know about it and he just saw it, and he pretty much, like, according to what Stevie and Logic, they were like, nah, he knew, because a lot of us knew when we didn't say anything, but he knew. But I think, like, they knew, and probably even Myron knew, but just coming out with stuff like that would make them look weird, so they waited for her to drop the video. Maybe they told her to drop the video. They pretended now to react after accidentally seeing the video on the new channel. So we were in the midst of listening to Watch Stevie live and stuff, and Abba decided, like, yeah, I'm gonna bring the receipt on the first video of Surviving Abba. So while we were there, we were like, oh, Watch Stevie, if the video started, we gotta drop out. So I was actually had both of the lives open. So we go there, Abba's like smiling, blah, 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 blah. But I'm going to say a couple of things here. I really feel bad for men sometimes. Men go through stuff that we will never understand. Women go through stuff that men will never understand. Our body, our choice. But when a baby is no longer here, that you took it out by choice, that unfortunately something happened and the baby, naturally got unalived, like medical issues or whatever it is, it affects everybody. It affects mama, it affects father, it affects grandparents, it affects uncle and aunties, friends, even sometimes. It affects everybody. Usually we always focus on mama because mama was the one carrying the baby. It doesn't mean that daddy doesn't feel nothing. And let me actually, give a little recap of what Abba said. So Abba's like, okay, I was dating this chick, like I saw her Instagram was a bit clean, blah, blah, blah. I thought like she was cute, blah, blah, blah. We started like hanging out, hooking up, and we started like sleeping together. But as he apparently was told by his doctor that he was shooting blanks mostly, he was like, yo, I can do whatever I want. And he did whatever he want, and all of a sudden he was not shooting only blanks. All of a sudden, oh, this woman is pregnant. So it's like, no, if you want to do this, we'll do this. So, and I think, by the way, this is my opinion here, if somebody tell you that you're shooting blanks and luckily, miraculously enough, like somebody or your woman is pregnant, that's great, because that could have, and I hope not, but this could have been the only chance for this guy to actually have a kid. So not only that, then it's like, okay, Pitch, myself, and a couple of people that have origins, not Western origins, react a certain way, and we can see and understand how somebody will react a certain way. Sometimes we react Western society-wise, sometimes we react background. I react sometimes like an African more than I react like a Western person, and vice versa. So Abba was like, okay, in Africa, somebody would have said, you're pregnant, we get married and we have the baby. He was like, okay, your body, your choice, whatever you do, I'm accept it. Obviously, in his heart, he wanted the kid. But again, your body, your choice, Western society, your body, your choice. We're not married, this and that. Whatever you decide, I'm gonna follow this. Not even pushing the agenda that he really wants the kid. And he was really emotional about it. Like, again, sending my love to Abba and Pritch, and sending my love especially to Abba in this situation, because I can understand. Like, I understand completely, especially if you are shooting a lot of blanks. So she decided, apparently she goes on, she wants the baby, she doesn't want the baby. She wants the baby, she doesn't want the baby. She takes appointment to, get deletion of the baby, then she changed her mind, blah, blah, blah. Again, now I'm going to be a human and a woman and say, I can understand that it might be very difficult to actually go through this and be like, okay, I am really ready. I want to do this. I don't want to do this. I can understand the back and forth as a woman because you're like, man, I'm not married to this guy. I don't know if it's going to be serious forever. You can go through a lot of things, but it's not because, and us women, when we get our hormones going, we can be crazy during periods, during pregnancy, during menopause. Women sometimes, the emotions, they usually take over the logic. I can understand from her point of view, she changed her mind. At some point, she's like, I want the kid, but I'm not sure about the relationship. She went through everything. And he was trying to support her. This is according to him, of course. And he was trying to support her. He was like, okay, if you want to do this, we're doing this. If you don't want to do this, we're not doing this. But, whatever you decide, just let me know. But again, I can also understand Abba being like, okay, we're keeping the baby, thank God. And the next day she's like, no, we're not keeping the baby. We're keeping the baby. We're not. It will get somebody else crazy. Hell, I was not even in the situation. And I was already like, girl, make your mind up. But I would understand. Again, it takes a lot for her, to get somebody, to get a baby deleted. I would never want to do this. But I am not in her shoes. We can't just sit here and tell her, oh my God, you shouldn't have done this or should do this. The second thing that I thought was really awkward, because at some point, Preach is even going to ask him that, was she really pregnant? She was speaking weird. And this is my question to Abba. Are we sure she was pregnant? Because I will agree with Preach at some point. Preach ran to that to get to that line. He had a lot of things to say. He was like, oh, today, no. Even if I was on the moon, I am getting to the studio. I am getting there. And he asked him, are you sure she was pregnant? Because obviously, Preach was like, I'm going to support my younger brother on this. He clearly didn't like the chick. But again, these are situations sometimes where you don't really like the girlfriend, you think she's weird, but your brother, your man, is like, you like your man, you support your brother, you support your man, you support, your little bro. I'ma support you because, you like this chick, we're gonna like her. And the reason that I actually myself doubted if she was indeed pregnant, she talked about first trimester, and all of us know that second trimester, you're not allowed to unalive baby. You're not allowed to delete. A human is not allowed to delete. If the baby gets deleted from trimester number 2, it's because medically something went wrong, or, it happened naturally, unfortunately. That was not her case. And she kept saying, on my first trimester, after this number of months. And I'm like, didn't you pass the date to unalive? Plus Preach actually said she was not showing. So it was really weird. To all of us, some of us were still like, I don't know. If I had to put my opinion about this, was she really pregnant? Like 50-50 for me. Nevertheless, so he explained that, they met, they started doing this, she got pregnant. Then at some point, she really started going back and forth, which obviously broke them and him, because he was like, man, I have to support her as a man and stand my ground. But I also have my emotions. Somebody's telling you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And the day she decides to finally break up with him, she's like, okay, I'm breaking up with you, but I'm keeping the kid. After telling him like a zillion times, I don't want the kid. Which is weird. Then apparently in the midst of all that, she would block him, he would block her, she would block him. She would have like her family and friends contact him, and then she would try to go around everybody. Yes, I am Abba's girlfriend. I am Abba's girlfriend, and Abba's doing this to me and this. And I don't know her age, but I'm gonna say this: when you have problem in a situation and you have not been presented to somebody, don't bring your business onto that person. Don't go to Preach because Preach is Abba's friend. You're not even that heavily pregnant. You don't know if you're going to keep the kid. All of a sudden, you want everybody to be in the business of just knowing and talking to him while you still don't know if you want to keep the kid or not. That is actually absolutely stupid. So she went back and forth, and clearly a lot of people around Abba, they didn't like her. Bridge definitely didn't like her. Bridge was like, she was trying me. She was like, they were trying to really force themselves into all of us, onto all of us. And I don't trust her. I really didn't think that she was a great person for you. So Abba, I gotta give a lot of respect to Abba, because Abba was like, yo, I am not going to disrespect this chick. There was some good, there was some bad, there was some crazy. I am sad. He really got emotional because he was sad losing the kid. Again, if this was this guy only chance, I think it's unfair sometimes for women to just decide to to take away the kid while you already have the situationship. But obviously, if the kid is also going to come in the world and every day the dad and the mom are going to be fighting and hating each other, this is also going to be crazy. They don't even live in the same city. So he was like, there was some good and some bad with the woman. So, like, the crazy was crazy. I am happy that I don't have to deal with her forever. But obviously, I am grieving the fact that, I potentially would have been a dad at some point with this woman right now. So it is sad. Like, I'm a girl, but I always feel bad for men. Sometimes they don't have the same say on a baby because the baby is in the woman's wound, which I think is unfair because the baby's 50% mom's, 50% dad. So, but when you think about it sometimes, and even though the dad wants it and the mom doesn't, it's always it's hard. So, I was like, it's really sad. Like, it actually, it made me emotional watching Abba being emotional at that stage. So he explained multiple things about what she said. He stated that he watched the video. He stated that he even sent her a message being like, okay, so that is what you want to do now. Like, because, he's not angry at this woman, but, he realized now that, yeah, she was probably not the one for him, although he loved her at some point. But, when you actually start feeling that this person was really never in love with you because she was like using you, maybe she wants to become a YouTuber, maybe she just wanted the fame, maybe she wanted the money. He stated again on that live yesterday that she never asked him for money and stuff, and we know that Abba is like rich like that. He explained, they went for it, everybody gave their opinion. Abba obviously arrived in the middle of the live yesterday, and he was like, "Ooh, I have too much things to say," and clearly he was like, this woman was crazy somehow. But nevertheless, I think that we saw that he literally tried everything to put this woman at ease. She drove him a little bit crazy. Then he was like, do whatever you want. He got angry. He was like, okay, if you want to keep the baby, I don't want to be in it because this is now toxic. If you keep the baby, I don't want to be in it because this is going to be toxic. And he was upset, pissed. And we don't know if she had kept the baby, he would have could have maybe changed his mind and take care of his kid. But nevertheless, she decided at some point, we don't have proof of her being pregnant, her not being pregnant, her deleting the baby, we don't have proof. According to everybody, she did get the LB abortion, the A to the B abortion. So the baby is no longer here. Everybody was supposed to go their merry way and leave each other alone. But after that, Abba realized that, she had like a spicy sort of Instagram, a bit more spicy, different than what she was telling him. And then she also decided to open a YouTube channel just to talk about this. After, they are sort of, you do you, I'ma do you, and we are just going to grieve the relationship. She comes out here, try to make Abba look like a crazy person without giving us all the facts and gaslighting and blah, blah, blah. And I think after that live, she was not getting it easy because I went and saw the comment this morning. And people, the crazy stand, they were in her comment section being like, blah, blah, blah. Let me give my opinion about her right now. I don't know how old you are, woman. But one thing is for sure, you're not right at all. I can understand that sometimes we want to use, not even in a bad way, but we want to use people we know to go forward. If I know Urban Bridge, let me say it, like example. I know Urban Bridge, or I know Stevie, or I know what Stevie, and I want to start a channel, I can ask them, oh, I want to get into this. I want to also have my own channel. Can you help me, grow and stuff? No problem. We can all do that. Again, when I started my channel, I used to send my links. I still do it sometimes. I still send my links to people that I want to have them react to my videos or watch my videos, because I am trying, although I don't do YouTube like constantly at all, I still want to grow on this platform. That is normal. But if you really ever loved this guy, I don't know, maybe this is her first relationship. We don't know her. We don't know him. And the relationship has ended. And Abba actually showed us that she apologized and she realized that she went a bit too crazy. Her friends and family were calling his people and stalking them everywhere and tried to blackmail them. If you have acknowledged all that, then we saw that on Abba and Preacher's live. Why is it that now all of a sudden you want to make sure that this guy is perceived as a bad person? If you want to be a YouTuber, that is not the right way to go about it, because now this becomes your brand. The girl who is here, who has subscribers because she dated Abba. The girl who wants to give a bad name to Abba. A girl who, because she wants to make sure that Abba is seen in a bad light, is willing to send videos and text messages to Myron the Moron, to Stevie Knight, to What Stevie, to so many different people to take him down. And nobody even, listen to you. And it says a lot. It says that we don't want to follow whatever you're trying to do. We're not really with you. Was he rude to you on those text messages? Absolutely. 1,000,000%. But, and he shouldn't have used some of those words, definitely. But unfortunately, when people are angry, sometimes they say stuff they don't really completely mean. And you were going back and forth, he was going back and forth, so let's call it a draw. And we don't need overtime sometime. And you decide that, I don't know, I don't have anything to do in my life, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, but I don't want to be like dissing Abba. Somebody that you even pretended, even when you were apologizing, that you loved. You didn't love the guy. To me, what I'm seeing from where I'm sitting right now, you don't love the guy. If you're not trying to be a YouTuber and this is your breadwinner, this is your theme for your channel, then we know that, it's going to be dumb. You're not going to have respect from women or men, because your aim was clearly to try to make Abba look like a baby daddy, absent, angry person, which he definitely proved that, he was not trying to be that at all. And it came with receipt, because he realized that you were recording the phone calls that you were having with him, and he started also recording, which is just, again, to me, so crazy. Like, this is so nuts. To be in a relationship with somebody that you claim you love and trying to, blackmail them, gaslight them. It's crazy. This is how people are today. We know that people did that to, Uncle Shay Shannon, and this woman got a lot of money out of him. He even lost his job, but he even lost his job at ESPN because of this chick. But, okay, Abba, he's not poor, but you would think that if this man really loved you and you really liked him, that, it's just a breakup. And it's crazy because, again, that's the thing with me. People do not understand that you should not post everything on the internet. Not everything is for everybody. This is stupid. One of the reasons that I don't have my face here on the internet is because I don't want the drama. If I make mistakes and somebody even comes, like, nobody knows that I have this channel. Nobody. Not people around me. Nobody knows. It's hard because I even want to, at some point, if I grow up, I'm going to want somebody to help me, like, edit. And I don't know how I'm going to do this because I'm really bad at editing and stuff. This is why my videos are simple. But I don't understand the aim of her channel. If this is what she wants to do, forever criticize Abba, we already have people for that. We have Stevie Knight. We already have a lot of people doing that. We have Stevie Knight. We have Fresh and Fit. We have so many people. So we don't know. We don't need more, because what you gonna say? Because you're going to tell us what, that he was not satisfying in bed. I don't know, but we don't care. We really don't. We don't care. We really don't. And I feel bad for her, because I know that, losing your kid, willingly or unwillingly, that obviously screw up your mind. Hormones, as a woman, I can understand that, you go through a lot of things. I can understand that you go through a lot of things. I can understand that and give her that. But does it deserve for you to create a whole YouTube channel for that? And having like Abba and Preach stands insulting you in the comment section? That is dumb. Anyway, I wish all of them the best. Take time, grieve, choose well next relationship, because again, now you have, for the girls, you have put a bad light on yourself. Guys don't like people who go out and talk about their business out there. So I don't know what she wants to do. Maybe she wants to be the next, Just Pearly thing. I don't know. We gonna see. But this was just stupid. It was a done deal after, obviously, the live from Abba and Preach. We were like, okay, she was just like one of those crazy ones. Again, I'm going to respect what Abba said. We're not going to go and clash her like that. We understand. Again, as a girl, I understand that she went through hormones and stuff, and she wasn't sure about this. But last and not least, from anti-faceless, cover yourself up. Wear protection, because clearly maybe they could have still been together if the pregnancy was not a thing. So we never know. But nevertheless, I think I'm gonna say that Abba, you definitely dodged the bullet. I'm definitely going to say that. For me, I don't understand why people come and bring like personal business online. Don't understand it. Never got it. People want to overshare too much. That is just crazy. And most people who do content online, people don't want to be sharing their stuff like that online. Some people do, but a lot of people, we have never seen Preacher's Erich wife. Maybe he has kids, maybe he doesn't. We don't know. And we shouldn't want to know, because we are here to just listen to their reaction. That's it. We agree with them, fine. We don't agree with them, fine. Next video, let's go. That's it. Anyway, it was great. I gotta give a lot of respect to a lot of people. What's TV, Logic, Uncle Preach, that actually came out in his live yesterday, and so many people that really protected Abba in this situation, because they all saw it coming, that this woman was just trying to be, trying to stop something. And it's great to actually see that the YouTube community is not just even Fadul. I think Fadul knew about this before it came out, and even he decided like, yeah, I'm not gonna go there. So kudos to all of them. That was great. If she had sent me it, she wouldn't have posted it, because I would have told her, girl, you're about to ruin your life. And the only reason her life is not going to be ruined completely like that by petty people is, again, because Abba told people, yeah, it was just, there was some good and bad, and, people shouldn't actually go for her like that. So anyway, tell me what you think in the comment section. Do not forget to like, subscribe, share. I'll see you in the next one. Faces out. Ciao, ciao, ciao.